Right, we are back with a Pink Culture Presents, and today we are in the F1 Arcade, which is an official F1 restaurant bar where you can play, well, not play, you can do F1 in the simulators. But we've got a very, very, very cool guest today. She's a pop star, she's Love Island Queen. It's Antigoni.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Welcome, how are you?
I'm good, I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. What do you think of this place?
I think it's very cool, it's very cool. Like,
you're an F1 fan?
I mean, as much to the next person.
So no?
Yeah. No, I watch it if it's on, but I'm not like following it.
Have you ever been to see it?
No, but like my friend called me last week and was like, I've got a spare ticket for the F1 in Barcelona, and I was like, oh my god, like I want to go, it'd be sick. But I was christening my little goddaughter.
It's the toss up, isn't it? F1 christening.
Fuck that kid.
Fuck that kid.
No, absolutely not.
So how was the F1? No.
Yeah, no. So unfortunately I didn't go, but maybe next time.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of invites to things like this?
Yeah, I get invited to some cool things nowadays. Like, yeah.
So let's go back. So you've been a singer. That's your craft.
Yeah.
How long and when did you start? Well, when did you find the passion for singing?
Honestly, I never found it. It was always my thing. Like, I don't remember deciding one day, like from as young as I can remember, like I was a singer. Yeah, it's always been my thing. I guess like properly I got into the industry when I was like 14. I ended up signing a publishing deal for like songwriting, and then it was just a journey. I was signed to Island Records for a bit. I was signed to another independent label, and it's a roller coaster, this industry, and it's kind of tough, but you know, in the last few years I really found my sound and developed the music that I want to make, and it's only really been in like the last year that I've been like releasing that music, so there's a lot more to hear from me.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And what is your sound?
So my sound is combining kind of me, which is growing up in the UK, but my heritage and my culture, which is Greek Cypriot. So the sound that I've created for my music is very much a combination of like UK sounds and UK production, but with a lot of Greek influences, Middle Eastern influences, because Cyprus is in the Middle East, a lot of people don't realise that. So the soundscapes are very similar to a lot of the Middle East, and so there's instruments like the bouzouki and certain samples and whatever. It's called bouzouki. Yeah, bouzouki is like, I call it like a saucy guitar.
Saucy guitar?
Yeah, so it's like an 8-stringed instrument, it's a Greek instrument, and it's just the most beautiful sound. No, it's smaller than a guitar, it's got a round back. I'll show you a picture after.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's like, if you've been to the Greek islands, you would have heard it, you know. And it's a sound that I use across all my music. And
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm just trying to share my culture. I think that the world is so open to like culture and different sounds now. And yeah, so that's my sound.
That's cool.
That's me.
I think that reminds me of Major Lazer. I'm going to forget the name of the song. What's the one Major Lazer where it's, you can help me out, Heavy. But it's got very like, it's got those cool instruments, very Middle Eastern sounds in there. And I think when you do it, when you marry them together well, it sounds awesome.
Definitely. I mean, there's songs that have done it in the past, like Pump It by the Black Eyed Peas was an old Greek sample. And there's been, whenever it's been used in certain songs, it's been amazing, but there's never necessarily been like a wave of artists making that music and like making it global other than the odd songs. So I feel like now's the time. Yeah.
Love that. That's amazing. So I read somewhere you've got your own record label.
I do, yeah. Amazing. So I set up my own record label called Cyrena Records. Cyrena Records. So I'm like the ancient Greek sirens. Have you heard of them?
Yes.
They were like singing mermaids, basically, but they were kind of evil. Like they used to sing, and then sailors would hear these beautiful voices, and they would lure them in, and then they would eat them.
That's what I think. That's in Pirates of the Caribbean, isn't it?
Exactly. It's like singing mermaids is the sirens, and there's a beach that I go to in Cyprus called Cyrena Bay, and I love it. So I just thought Cyrena Records.
Love that.
Yeah, so I set that up with like my team a couple of years ago, just that we have the option to go through different distributors or labels as and when we need to, but having that kind of
So do you release everything through that?
Through that, yeah. Wow. Even if we end up doing it in partnership with something else. Yeah.
That's awesome. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 27.
27.
I'm 22, okay, whatever.
She's got her own record label by 27. That's insane. So let's go, before we get into the music properly, most people know you from Love Island. You were on for 8 days?
Yeah, literally in and out.
And you crushed it.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
she's
you.
on what, nearly 700k followers? Or
Yeah.
Wow. How
it was great.
did that come about initially?
So I got a DM from Love Island like about January last year, saying like, you know, would you consider coming on Love Island, blah blah blah. And at first I was like, no way. Like literally, I sent the screenshots on my family chat, like, oh my god, look what I've just been sent, like never in a million years. And then like I was like, no thanks. And they were like, look, would you just take a Zoom call anyway? And I was like, you know what, there's no harm. Like, let me have the call with them. And then I just, you know, I just thought about it practically, and I thought, you know, I'd been single for like a year, so you know, maybe my husband would have been in there first and foremost.
Love Island.
But also, let's be real, it's a very amazing opportunity. And you know, I looked at people like, you know, Wes Nelson, who went into Love Island and he wasn't even a musician when he went in.
Oh, was he not?
I mean, like, I think he's always done music, but he didn't go in as a musician, you know. And you know, he's doing amazingly music, he's really talented, and it just gives you that kind of opportunity to, one of the hardest things nowadays is to get people's attention and to gain visibility. And you know, there's nothing other than a viral moment that nobody can really plan for that could have taken me from like 20k to like 700,000 in a week. Right?
And have the whole of the UK know who you are.
Well, exactly. And you know, unfortunately, what comes with doing reality TV is the reality TV stigma. And but I kind of weighed that up before I went in, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to carry myself as myself, and I'll be proud of the way that I carry myself. And then it's what I do with it afterwards. You know, like at the end of the day, people might be like, oh yeah, whatever, you're sick. Like no, but come and watch me, and then you'll
love
believe
that.
You know?
I was going to say your mindset is I love meeting people like this where you can spin any situation into a positive, and it comes across because that's when you went on Love Island, you were just the positive vibes.
Oh, thank you.
And everyone I've met after, shout out to Craig, they all say how bubbly and fun you are.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's great that you're carrying that. I agree consistently.
Oh, thank you. Very kind.
It's our cameraman.
But it's funny because I've noticed now, like I do shows, and it's like, say I have no ego when it comes to music. Like I'll do the support slot for friends of mine who, even if they don't have as many followers or whatever, I don't care. Like, you know,
so refreshing
it's like,
hear.
you know, so I'll do the support slot, and it's funny when you go into a room full of like musos, and then I see people's like me and my manager, who's like one of my best friends, like producer as well. Like he'll be on the stage DJing, so he's seeing the audience as well, and we both see there's people that have not heard me sing before, and they're going, that girl from Love Island. They're sitting there, their postures like this. They're like, oh whatever, let's get a drink. And then I slowly watch as the set goes on, and they go,
yes.
All right, okay, cool. And I like that. I like the challenge, you know. Like I need to prove myself, I'll prove myself. But yes, like.
I mean, your voice is. I mean, we're on a podcast, and I have to say this, but your voice is incredible. Honestly, so powerful as well.
Thank you.
So music now. You come out of Love Island. Oh, actually, let's go back to something I was talking with you about for. You went on and you were quarantined for a long time.
Yeah. For like 2.5 weeks I was in the quarantine. Longer than I was in the actual villa. I was in the quarantine. Got free holiday, it was great.
Free holiday, mate, it's fine. How was that experience?
Do you know what? It was so peaceful. It's probably one of the most peaceful times of my life because you're in a situation where you have no phone, you can't speak to anybody, like other than my chaperone. Shout out my chaperone Lucy, she was lovely.
Shout out Lucy.
And she was super chill, we had a really nice time together. But the first 5 days I had my phone, so I was still communicating with my friends and family and whatever, and like kind of
Did you sort of
tying up loose ends.
Yeah.
Well, only like my close circle knew. And then
that's exciting.
I had like 2 weeks. I thought it was only going to be another 5 days, but it ended up being like another, I think it was like nearly 2 weeks. And all I could do was like, I had my guitar with me, so I could play my guitar, read books, catch a tan, work out, eat well. Like it was so peaceful, and like
basically do stuff for you.
Exactly. And not worry about like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like we were talking about this like holiday guilt. I think when you're like self-employed and you work for yourself and you don't have that like constant paycheck coming in the same way as like a 9-to-5er, you have this constant pressure to not switch off.
Yes.
So I feel like that anyway. So when I'm away, I'm always like, oh, can I record a cover here, or can I do something productive while I'm away? Like I never really feel like I'm just present in a place, whereas I had no choice but to just be present and enjoy it. And I actually I'm glad that I was mindful about that at the time, because I was like, I don't know when I'll ever get this chance again to be completely switched off, no phone, nothing.
Especially in your 20s, even 30s.
Exactly, or forever, because at some point, you know, you'll have kids and a family and this and that, whereas this is just me.
And you're clearly someone who's always striving after goals.
Definitely.
So there was an a great podcast Chris Williamson does called Modern Wisdom, and he was saying that constant, particularly for people who are so focused on succeeding or just bettering themselves, there's effectively in your head you have open loops all the time. So I don't know, let's say for example,
so many tabs open all the time.
Yeah, it's like having loads of tabs on the browser, and that means you can never truly switch off.
Yeah,
and I think having that opportunity to isolate and fully do it is actually one of the most probably best things for your mental health. Bizarrely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it really was. Like I really enjoyed that period, and it was a cool experience, and I'm grateful for that time. Yeah,
amazing. And then so Love Island. Did you enjoy the experience?
I did. Yeah, I mean it's very intense when you're in there. Like it's very
especially when you're
surreal.
thrown in when there's already a group of people together.
Yeah, but that part I didn't find hard because I really got along with everybody. As soon as I went in, everyone was super welcoming to me. I made friends really quickly, and I felt very welcomed by the islanders. Like,
oh, that's nice.
But and I've made some really, really solid friends from it. But what's weird is like you try to not think about it, but it's impossible not to. You're like, how am I being perceived? How am I coming across? Like certain things will happen, and like it's very intense. And I got a feeling a couple days in that I was like, I'm not going to be here very long.
Really?
I just got this feeling, and it was like kind of stressful because ordinarily you go in, if you're only in there for like a week, it's like you come in and out, no one knows who you are, and it's a nightmare, and it's like you're this like has-been.
That didn't happen.
So I was like, thankfully, like I was really grateful for the way that people treated me when I came out. But at the time, I was like, there's no one here for me. I'm not really listening to what the producers like. They don't. You're not obliged to do anything, but like there's
they're in your ear.
A little, there's like kind of soft guidance, and I think at the end of the day, the more willing you are, But so I was like, I just kind of had a feeling, and then when the recoupling thing happened, and I was like, I didn't get to choose. I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I could feel it. I could feel it. So I was kind of a bit like, it's a weird emotion thing, but genuinely, like I'm quite spiritual when it comes to like just trying to believe. I'm the most happy and the most like productive when I'm just trusting in the universe and trusting in what's happening. And in that moment I was trying to control it maybe, but then in hindsight I'm like, it was such a blessing for me because there wasn't, even after the people that came in, there was no one that I would have connected with. Really? So actually being in and out, getting portrayed as myself mostly, I felt like they showed me as who I was. I got the opportunity to be in there and not stay in there long enough for people to start hating me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's a really good point, actually.
You know what I mean?
You came in and you were a big person. I mean, these people normally who go in, you went in with Charlie, and he was, whether he was like this or not, he was portrayed as quite quiet. And
Charlie's great. I feel like Charlie didn't get a fair opportunity for people to see his character.
He seems super funny as well.
So honestly hilarious, really, really genuinely lovely guy. And that's the thing, the danger and the risk of going onto a show like that is like, you could be in there for a week the same way, and you don't get portrayed in the same way, and like it's hard, but it's
reality TV for you.
And you've got to go in there like and take these risks and like whatever. Like everything's okay in the end, you know. Everything's okay.
I love this positive attitude. Where do you think? Because it seems you're very introspective. You're very, but in a healthy way. Because a lot of people can be introspective and, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? You seem to go, oh, this is good. I can change that. Have you always been like that?
I mean, no, I have my moments. Don't get me wrong. Like the people close to me will know that I'll have big bug outs where I'll be like, oh, what's going on? Like but I've just learned a little bit to like. At the end of the day, like you sit and you worry and you stress. It's like what happens? You just have to find a solution. So I'm not always like, it's not always constantly like that, but I try to be.
Very authentic response there.
My dad's very like philosophical, and like I have a lot of conversations with him about things, and my mum as well is like such a go-getter, such a doer. She's like had so many careers over her life and like done amazing things, and it's like, so I look at them
for inspiration.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what it is, and I think sometimes it's just like rooting yourself and being like, no one's dying, like it's fine.
I love this. That's amazing. This sums you up beautifully. So we've got some lovely cocktails for you. This is our partner Niche. They are. I'll send you a box actually.
Yeah,
they're amazing. So they are pre-mixed cocktails, and I don't think I've had any that are this good. So
let's try it.
Let's have one. Yeah, because you're definitely drinking today.
I mean, I'll have a sip. I'll try.
Perfect.
Listen, you're not going to tell Greg anything.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to force him to watch this. Cheers. Lovely to have you on. Oh, that's banging. Oh my God, that's good.
It's good.
So,
I want to try yours.
Yeah, you go. I'm going to try yours.
Yeah, I like this better. I'm going to keep it. No,
okay. No, swapsies. Music. So you are. How many singles have you released?
So I mean, I don't even know.
Yes.
But really, like the music that really I've curated in this sound that I love.
Yeah.
I started releasing last March. So
wow.
It was Red Flag, Hit List, You Can Have Him, Long Way Home, Messy. It's 5 singles and a drum and bass remix of one of my older songs that came out. Yeah, that came off the back. Oh, really? I mean, I'm not really that much of a drum and bass fan. Like I can appreciate it, and I love my drum and bass song. But yeah, this amazing producer called Waypoint basically took one of my old songs and made it into a drum and bass remix.
That's amazing.
And it just blew up. So that was off the back of Love Island. I must have heard
it then, because I was going to say it feels like is it Ella Eyre?
Ella Eyre, yeah, she's great.
Your voice is sort of not similar, but do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And there's one other singer, and they both got drum and bass songs, and they're fucking amazing.
No, I love it. Do you know what? It's not my natural genre that I go to, and it's like when I go out, I'm more of an R&B, hip hop kind of girl. But I can appreciate the music when it's and when it's done a certain way, and I actually really love singing over dance music. So it's something that I definitely would want to do more of, like remixes and features and things like that.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, you look at those singers I just mentioned. They have done what's the guy? I'm really bad at naming songs off the top of my head, but they do these pop tracks and they blow up.
Yeah,
so I think
sure.
you'd be really good.
I think pop dance, pop drum and bass is probably more I'm into than the real hardcore stuff.
So your business. I haven't actually done research on that. Tell me about it.
So I have a clothing brand that I've founded last year with a friend of mine and my sister. My friend is called Antonia, and she's the kind of she basically reached out to me because she was graduating uni, and she was like, I want to make some clothes, would you model, whatever. And then I ended up kind of hanging out with her and helping her to develop stuff, and then being so involved in it that I ended up saying to her, look, I really believe in this. Do you want to go in it 50-50 and make this launch it together? Because where she was gonna she's an incredible designer, incredible seamstress, and she was just gonna do made to order handmade things. And I was like, well, look, if we invest in this properly, we can maybe find a factory, do it on a bigger scale and whatever. And I literally launched it a few weeks before I went into Love Island. We expedited it because I was like, I'm wearing these bikinis all summer, and I ended up wearing one of the bikinis walking in. That bikini sold out overnight, and then I had all the girls in the villa wearing it. I wasn't wearing my brand, but I was like, you can borrow my bikinis if you want.
This is sick.
And not being biased, but they're the best bikinis ever. We curated them to be the perfect shape. They're amazing materials. So naturally the girls were like, yeah, can I borrow this one? Can I wear this one? So so that's it's going good. It's been nearly a year. We have a little summer launch that we're doing this week, and it's still a baby, but we have high hopes and big dreams for it.
Well, I mean, you come to the perfect people. Pinkfluence.
There we go.
/ this stuff. We'll get it on board.
There we go.
So you are juggling a lot.
I'm juggling a lot. I'm trying.
How are you finding juggling all of it?
I mean,
what's your downtime? What do you do to get out of that?
I don't actually really. Genuinely, I'm always on the go, always doing something and whatever. But I'm very blessed at the moment that my work with music is letting me spend a lot of time in Greece, because I'm working with Greek artists and things like that. So it's when you're waking up and you're in the sunshine, and my downtime, I guess, is having routine, trying to find routines, getting up, going to the gym. That's where I find it. But I just went to Mykonos and took a week.
Did you?
And had a really lovely time. It was beautiful.
Mykonos
it was really
is meant to be one of the best places in the world for dining, clubs, the lot.
I mean, look, it's beautiful and stunning, and I love it, but it's definitely become a little bit more, you can't go there on a budget and go on.
No way.
It's but I went and stayed in a friend of mine's hotel, which you'd actually love. It's called Charisma, and it's a fitness-based hotel. And it's about 10-minute drive out of the main town, so you're still close to the buzz, but you're a little bit away. And there's this amazing outdoor gym, outdoor swim. A lot of athletes go there and spend time there training and this and that. So we went for a retreat, but we kind of trained in the morning and then Mykonos in the day and the evening.
Champagne straight off.
Yeah, exactly. But it was I adore the Greek islands. I adore everything about Greece.
Greece is beautiful head to toe, isn't it? It's,
definitely.
I went to go. Is it Paphos?
Paphos. That's in Cyprus. But that's where I'm from. I'm from Cyprus. Cyprus is an independent country.
Yeah,
Greece is no. It's a lot of people assume that Cyprus is a Greek island because we speak the same language, we have the same culture, but they're kind of sisters. I would say.
I was going to say. So we did the lads' holiday first ever trip was Pineapple.
Of course. It's a rite of passage.
Oh
we
my
all
God.
did that. We probably did that at the same time.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 30 now.
Oh, okay,
Just turned
cool.
30.
So we might have been there at the same
I went
time.
when I was 17.
Okay, no, I wasn't there yet. I was 4.
What is next for you?
Yeah.
You've got the business, you've got the music it's popping off. You're obviously doing really well on the socials. What's your next go-to?
I mean, music is my be all and end all. Like everything else is just to try and facilitate my music, genuinely.
Yeah.
So, you know, my plan is just to release as much music as possible,
keep smashing it out.
perform as much as possible. I have a single coming out. When is this coming out?
We can probably 2 weeks time.
Okay, cool. So I have a single coming out in a couple of weeks called Nervous.
Click there.
And it's like a summer vibe, and I'm super excited about that. So, and I've just shot some like fun content around that too.
Amazing.
So yeah, Nervous is coming out.
Any gigs coming up?
I don't have any gigs in the pipeline at the moment, but inevitably I will do.
I was going to say, I reckon summer's going to be a busy one for you.
Yeah, and then just I've got another single dropping after the summer, and it's just going to be continuous music.
Amazing, love it. All right, cool. Well, that was a very quick interview, but thank you so much for coming on. We're going to take you for some F1 arcading, some ocheing, and some tasting of food.
Nice.
So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. That was great.